looking at this ordinance, I'm kind of leery. I know we can have special meetings on this, and then we could bring this ordinance, since it's already put here, can we bring it back later? Because, like, for example, the loss of our resources or revenue, can we put it in here? How are we gonna break it down, as Trustee Wilson said? My concerns about how we're gonna, is it budget already, how we're gonna pay this loan back?
It's a tax anticipation warrant,
Right,
so
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
going to go against our tax money. And
How's it excuse me, I'm just.
yes, that goes along with what Trustee Wilson was asking, to have the breakdown of what those allocations will be and the distributions. Well, we're not going to do it too soon until we do the audit and we know what our actual debt is, and we can break it down from there. That's why we're doing it proactively, step by step. What needs to be clarified is we don't have expense or revenue completed budget. It's not done. We are currently doing a TIF reconciliation. We don't know the exact dollar amount of those obligations. We have debt within our general funds. We are working on that. So when we have that bottom line total, you cannot put together a constructive budget and forecast recovery until you know your total debt for the village. Not just a portion of it, but all of it. The 250 is just money to try to help us get out of
The 2.5.
You guys know what it is. The 2.5 million is just to give us some breathing room. We've had layoffs. We've closed down several things. We can't pay all of our bills. This 2.5 is just to give us some breathing room until we can get the budget done and our levy money comes in.
And I totally understand that.
And to break it down, yes, we will be able to break down what this 2.5 million is for. But this is just the first step. We're going to have a series of steps all the way until the audit being completed.
We ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game.
Because I'm just concerned about the more commitments that we're gonna make into paying this loan back. I just wanna make sure.
Right now, if we don't get this $2.5 million loan, our debt is going to be even higher than what we
But
don't even know what
I
it is.
understand that, but this ordinance is not to stop that. It's just an ordinance in place, so when we get it, it will go into effect. And I understand that, however, my concern is that where we going with this, I mean, it's just like,
Actually, Mayor, it's no different than what we attempted to do when we were trying to get the loan through Old Plain Bank. This
right,
is just
I
no
understand that
different.
there's different ones that we're gonna do and where we're gonna go with it. But again, we don't have things, I just feel that it's not in place and we don't really have to push this. We have it here, and once we get the money, then we can put this in place. I don't understand what the rush.
Well, it's not a
I
rush.
understand what you're saying.
It's step by step. We're not rushing. This is just to get the first phase of the ordinance done. It's going to be brought back before the board. So as we progress through the audit, we'll have the breakdown. We'll probably see it on the next agenda, and the next agenda is so that the residents know and you all know step by step what is going on to provide the best comfort level ever that we have, instead of just throwing it out there saying this is the money. This is what the money is going to be used for as we progress to the point of approval. So there's no surprises in the end.
Absolutely.
Now, with that said, also concerning monies, when you're saying that, we're about to get taxes, like you're saying right now, in May. So have we set that up of what bank that money is going to go into? As I know of, no, we have not done that yet. So we can't do that ASAP. Are we going to put it in this account, or are we going to put it in Old Plain? Because we need to set that up now. Because if not, what will happen, the taxes will come in, and we won't, then it'll go back because we don't have an account set up for our tax.
This packet is for?
Okay. So,
What this packet
but
is.
it's not, I'm just asking questions. We get it set up. We need to get that set up right away.
We've already
Because I've already
started.
called the bank and I found that we have not got that set up. So I'm just saying we need to have that set up. Okay, so when tax money comes, we'll have an account for it. It's a simple math.
Just for clarification, there is nothing being done behind the scenes. It's all being done progressively. Those documents that you have right there
Okay.
are set up initially with Old Plain Bank. The next phase that we will do is we will have the signing authority. If you read through this, it's already letting you know that our tax anticipation monies will go into First Midland Bank.
Right, now that's where the $2,500,000 will go into the First Midwest Bank in Joliet.
And that's the page for us to
Right.
do all the signatures
Right,
so that that money goes into there. Before
okay.
any money is moved out of any of those, any other bank,
Mhm.
we have to come right back to the board like we did originally when we first tried this effort.
Mhm.
Then will come back before the board saying,
Okay.
do you want to move these funds to this bank? Nothing can move until board approval has
Exactly.
occurred.
But I'm saying before, I remember when Oak Plain came here, we talked to them, and they asked for all our funds to be there, so when the taxes come. But at that time, we didn't have it set up to come to Oak Plain Bank or any bank. So I'm just making sure that this, I got the email that we have some signatures from you indeed, but I didn't know if it was for our taxes. So this is for our taxes.
Once this ordinance is passed,
Right.
there's a page in here that requires the signatures for us, so that when it is time for the money to come in,
The tax money,
the tax money to come in,
it will go.
right, because that tax money is also used to pay this back, and that's what will be broken down.
Okay. That was my question. Okay. I'm concerned.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So,
It's a question.
Manager, I just want to ask you, when the audit team, because you're saying that you have to finish the audit, the 2015 audit, before you can even be approved for that 2.5 million. So the audit team is actually only showing adjusted entries that's going to go against the village's books, but a cash flow statement would actually show current statement. So why is it that we have to wait for audit?
Because you,
That's part of the bank's
right,
requirement.
that's
As
required.
part of their requirements, okay.
That's part of any bank's requirement.
Okay, all right.
Good?
Yes, any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Brunette.
Vote aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Tate.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Larry Brown.
Vote aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2016-13.
If there are any adjustments, we can revisit this.
We're gonna be revisiting this all the way through, all the way through.
2016-1, I'm sorry.
13.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, those payable is an account aging, so there's no, action to be taken at that point. Okay, reports? I'm sorry.
And just for clarity, we just got our accounts payable system back up and running as of last Tuesday. Jacilia Kelly and I have started working on printing off all the information. We started that today, so that we can bring back to the board that original age report that was given. And then we're gonna demonstrate what has been paid against that. So we're gonna meet probably until Friday, and you each will be given that information, and then we can bring it back at the next board agenda so that the general public is aware of what we provided for you guys.
Very good.
There are some information that, as far as, like you say, the layout of payments, because there was something, one payment we had, AM audit, we are paid, and they've been calling various people that say that we haven't paid, like our medical bill. My question and concern with that is, I'm not understanding why that check was deposited. The whole check had no business really actually being deposited, because the agreement in the contract states that what he would do is we would deposit, or get the money for us, as far as what his findings, and the percentage would come straight off the top. So we should have never deposited that entire check without cutting the check immediately for him. So I don't want any legalities. If I have a meeting with them, they want to speak to me about that, and I want to be able to explain why that happened.
Well, the best way that I can answer that is to actually pull and find out the date that that check was deposited.
I have an email I'll send it to you.
Okay, please send it to me. And there are a lot of people that we haven't paid, that we haven't been able to pay. And we probably won't be able to pay for some time. But what we're doing is we're contacting every single one of our debtors, as they say in the Bible, and we're trying to work out payment plans. We're doing whatever. Some things haven't been paid for over 18 months, and that was well before me. But the focus is to do whatever we can to keep the best relationships
Right.
that we can. And since I wasn't aware of when it was deposited, I'm not going to try to guess as to why it was deposited, but to provide you facts.
Right. And I understand that when you say the bills have to be paid, but that's one bill that is a flip. We
We'll
had,
fix, we'll
it
look
had no
at it.
business ever, we shouldn't have owed them anything because it's a straight payment. You know, we get the check, cut it, check, and it's gone. So nothing had to come out of our general funds, and I don't know why they should understand that. Okay, thank you.
We'll once I pull it, I'll know who did it and why they did it, and I'll be able to share that with you.
Okay. Reports, anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second, who wants to listen first? Treasurer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Board of Trustees, residents. I just wanted to share that I was in the financial office on Wednesday, and I see that there's a lot of improvement that went on within our finance department. We have only one person in that finance department that's really working very hard, Cecilia, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm going to do as much as I can to be over there to actually help her, the manager, with anything that they have that actually needs to be done. It looks like that a lot of the auditors' requests was met. I talked to the auditors today, and so a lot of their requests was met, so that's a good thing. And it looks like everything is moving along pretty good. Now, my only concern is this, and I'm bringing this to the board's attention, okay? That as a treasurer of the village, the treasurer of the village actually works for the people of this village. And it's really imperative that the board put some type of ordinance together that actually gives the treasurer the authority to go into the office and receive any statement that he or she needs and wants, because it's very important that the village residents actually know what's going on and be more transparent with our village's funds. So you guys need to, know what's going on within our village, and it's important to me to actually give this information to you. So I'm begging you to put some type of ordinance together, so I am able to go into, because this is where this is where we are at right now. This is the reason why, is because that we had a village manager that did not give me any type of report. This young lady right here has,
Which one were you referring to?
Mrs. Lanier, okay, the village manager didn't give me any type of report. And when I requested, it seemed like he was hiding things. And it's time for us to stop hiding things. It's time for us to start being more transparent with our village's finances. And, since I am a person who actually been working in the accounting field for a very long time, and I understand accounting, finances, things of that nature, I can actually get truthful information out for the people of this village. So, but, I'm not knocking the manager. The manager has been, very good to me. She's invited me inside her office, and she's given me, she let me know anything that I need to know. But I just want an ordinance put together so I can.
Well, we had that conversation when you came to my office, and I told you that we would do that. So we would work on that. John and I stated that we would get that together at the next board agenda. Did I say that to you?
Thank you.
Yes, we did. And the question for you, now that Sharon's gone, and that is concerned, and I brought that to Ms. Townsend. We need to have segregation of duties as far as that, approving to approve. So we need leverages and levels of approval for our statements of finances. So that's, are you doing, are you in that capacity right now? Because Susan, we can't have one person approving their own work. So that's, you know, that's kind of scary for me right now. So are you working in that, or who's approving the approve? Because right now she's doing HR, ADP, IMRF, finance, payroll. So those are a lot of duties right now for one person.
And that's my concern,
Yeah.
is that I believe that as the treasurer of this village, that I should be there actually having some type of management over the village's finances as of right now. And even when a finance director does get in, I feel that the treasurer also should have some type of management duty over
I know we are talking,
finance director. So
we're talking to someone in South Suburban Mayor Managers, I'm not to discuss that, put that out there, but right now, we really need to have another set of eyes, because that's actually a little scary.
Well, let me clarify all of this that's being stated. Everything is true, but let me kind of synchronize it for everyone. First of all, the treasurer has regulatory and statutory requirements that they are supposed to adhere to. For whatever reason, our treasurer was not allowed to do those things. That is not acceptable,
Right.
because the village can be penalized for the treasurer not signing off on certain things. We don't have to create an ordinance. There are requirements out there that will be put before the board so that we have it. So anything that was previously put together doesn't matter, because it needs to be what the state sets.
We do need,
And those will be brought forth, and he will be made active. He's already been, focused on training in the areas proactively. Him coming into the office, he's being introduced to those things, so that when the ordinance is in place and the different reports come in, he's doing what he's doing. The reason we only have one person doing it is because we experienced a layoff. She has 5 years of experience. She's been cross-trained on every single job in the finance department. And as far as checks and balances, she can't do anything without me signing off, without the mayor signing off, without trustees signing off. We have an ordinance that's stopping any TIF transfers. The banks have requirements that you have to meet before you can have any monies transferred. So those checks and balances are in place. She's temporary until we can get enough money and get balanced so that we can start recalling people back. That $2.5 million loan will help us do that. All these things go in a vicious circle in order to get us repaired. These are short-term solutions that we have to focus on until we can get the long-term remedy. And that long-term remedy is knowing exactly how much our debt infrastructure is, so that we can put together a strategic plan to resolve it. But it's step by step. So as far as that one person being there, there's only 3 of us in Village Hall, but there are the different entities that are controlling it.
any other reports?
I have none. I would defer to my colleague.
This report is, and then we can come on. Yes, please, thank you. Joseph?
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents. Just wanted to let you all know that me and Ms. Jenkins are happy to announce the rebuild, restore of Craig Park. 2012, if you guys remember, we were awarded a grant for $78,000 to put a new playground. And we got a phone call, and they want to come and assist us with some new mulch and painting. But of course, we need 200 volunteers. So this wonderful team to my right will be the leaders for that day. The mayor, as well as the board of trustees, will have a team of people, and Ms. Jenkins will mention those different things that we're going to have the volunteers come out and help us with.
Covington Park 2.
Question, Ms. Keeley.
Yes.
that was so fun.
I'm looking at the mulch, 150 people. Is that right?
Oh, can I trade places with trustee?
Paula, listen, that mulch, I did the mulch last time, that mulch is a heck of a job. It's a heck of a job. They come drop a ton of it, and we
That's
have to get it out in a certain amount of time to keep up with everyone else. It's a fun thing, it's bringing people in the community together. It's a fun project, fun, unifying people.
Well, one of the things, Trustee Wilson, what we're gonna do is make sure that we have the volunteers, and your responsibility as a team leader is to oversee. This time, you are lucky because the year that we did it, we didn't have any mulching there at all. So this time, it's gonna be 60 by 35, Gary, and like a half an inch depth. So it's, yes, sir. So hold on. Okay, this year, the projects are for painting, for mulch, painting the benches and the stages from the previous, volunteer efforts. And we'll have, enhancements in the kids zone, with kids, of course, can't have this without kids. And, other different enhancements that are gonna go on the concrete, for kids to do in their, spare time, and refreshments will be served as well. So I just wanna just bring you back to reflect on 2012, when we did have the Kaboom, Blue Cross Blue Shield. There was over, if you can go back to that day, you know, like if we were in a movie, you just kind of go back. There was over 200 volunteers. At that time, there were lots of team building at this event, and a lot of cooperation. We built structures. The children and the adults worked together. We built a playground in one day together. And the same thing can happen at this next, it will happen, yes, it will. The same thing will happen at this next rebuild and restore.
If the weather doesn't permit, do we have a backup date?
No, it's rain.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine? Okay.
Yeah.
Rain or shine.
And then, for more information, we just ask for you to volunteer. I'm gonna have a sign-up sheet, and to volunteer, you can call 367-4712 or 534-6456.
Now,
4837.
this time you're not gonna make our trustees wear a ferry outfit.
I was going to mention the fairy wings. I was gonna mention all the fairy wings that was one. Oh, the that won't go well.
That wasn't a good
All the
one, right?
costumes, so it's gonna be a great day.
Milton had wings, and Trustee Griffin had a really strange cat, dirty, being, and it was spinning around. And we're gonna do what you did, Trustee Rudess. And we had fun though, but please come out. That was a joyful time.
Okay, I just want to go over the phone numbers again to sign up to volunteer. If any of the residents has a group or a mentor group that you work with, sports. The number again to sign up is 534-4837 or 708-367-4712. The date is May the 21st. It starts at 10 a.m. We'll have refreshments in the morning and refreshments for lunch. So we're closed to be messy in, shovel in, get dirty in, and get a good night's sleep the day before.
Sometimes these bad things make it better for the community.
It is. This is definitely going to be a healing point for us. I'm certain of it. Also, I wanted to mention that the mayor and the board of trustees, Coretta Scott King's 5K walk that is going to be this Saturday, April the 30th. The shirts for the board of trustees, I will pass out the date of the race at this point, since I don't know where they are at this point. But what I wanted to announce to the residents is that Black Hawk and Olmsted will be closed due to the race. The communication of this has been posted at the